Did you know, guys, there was a second Big Bang? We missed it. Who'd have thought?
Oh,
Anyway, so I was doing some shopping the other day. I had a look through the magazine section, and I came across the famous magazine New Scientist, and plastered all over the front there was a second Big Bang. And so I had a look inside, and there was a quote that stood out to me, which I thought was very interesting. So I'll just put that up on the screen there for you. We think that dark matter exists because it solves several astronomical headaches. Spot the problem with that sentence. But yeah, so this is taken from the latest edition of New Scientist, November 2023. It's the headline article where it discusses the origins of dark matter and proposing that there was a second Big Bang after the first Big Bang that produced dark matter and all the matter that we see in the universe, that created stars, cats, dogs, light, electricity, everything. So, I mean, I sent the article over to you guys. What were your thoughts?
Well, it reminds me of so much we do in science where you have a problem, you hypothesize an answer, your answer makes sense to you. It then becomes more than a theory in the textbooks, and in the minds of the public, it's a fact, right? And these factoid imaginary answers then get so embedded in science, they're used as a framework for stepping off to other things. When you trace them back, like climate change, I mean, I always remember the guy in India who suggested that the glaciers were melting, and then he's quoted and quoted and quoted till it becomes absolute fact. And then when you try and trace it back, there's one man there who hasn't proved anything. So this is so common in science because science has ceased to be a pursuit of truth, but a pursuit of acceptable theories.
yeah. I remember in graduate school, my major professor teaching me how to use a computer to write, because that was new at the time, would give me a writing assignments. And one of them was on a white paper on a ruling theorem. And that's what so much in science is. You have a ruling theorem. No matter whatever you propose, it has to fit into that theorem. And that's what this reminds me of. We know the Big Bang is true. Therefore, we, even if it's got problems, we can solve it by, making up these conceptual ideas. And so those conceptual ideas must be true because the ruling theorem is the Big Bang is true, no matter what the science says, shows.
Exactly. Well, I mean, what sort of stood out with me with that comment specifically when I read it was just, well, it's pretty much the secular version of God of the gaps, really, of trying to find something, basically saying, well, we know it was the Big Bang, but we don't know how things happen. So there must have been a second Big Bang, which is how we explain things, and that's how we know dark matter exists, but we haven't found it, and it's all sort of it's all over the place, basically. And I just saw that quote and I thought, I weep for humanity. But I mean, it's definitely it's an interesting read. So if you do want to have a look at the article for yourself and see exactly what they are spouting nowadays as proper science, then just go out and have a look at New Scientist, and you can see exactly where the holes are in the theory. But anyway, so shall we do your ministry update? Unless, Diane, you want to add anything?
No, I think we've said enough about black holes or
Okay, well,
dark matter, which is stuff that can't be seen. So how about we get on to some things we can see?